Hello, Peter Crouch. Is that you? Have I reached the right number? It is. Brilliant. Well, it's Tom. Do you remember me? I was the head of toilets at Crouch Fest. You do remember me? Oh, well, we're good mates. That's why I remember me, obviously. Well, seeing as I came to Crouch Fest to be head of toilets, right? I was doing you a favour. Well, could you do me a favour and go to your old team Tottenham and tell them to lose to us, please, in the Europa League so we get through to a semi-final? You can't do that. Well, can you at least download the One Football app for absolutely free from the top line of the description, the sponsors of today's video? Because it is the best football app out there to keep up to date with all of the latest scores and news from around the world. You can follow your favourite team. I know you've got quite a few from your playing career, Tottenham, Liverpool, all the teams, for example. I mean, follow them and you get live scores sent straight through to your phone whenever anything happens in a game. You will download it. Good, you love to see it. Well, at least you can do that for me. Thank you very much. And I'm sure I'll see you at the next Crouch Fest at some point. See you later, mate. Hello and welcome back to On The Rocks. Hope you're all doing well today and looking forward to today's doubleheader against Tottenham in the Europa League Quarter Finals. It doesn't get bigger than this until we get to the semi-finals and final. It does get a bit better, probably, and bigger, I'd imagine. But we have got such an uphill battle. Like, Tottenham are a much better team than we are. This could well be the end of the road for us in the Europa League this season. But there's always a chance. So, first things first, make sure you do drop a like on today's video for me and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here and leave a comment down below for the YouTube algorithm. Since you guys were last here for the, well, lucky win against Hoffenheim, we were 0-0 in the first leg. We then lost to Celtic, obviously, in between those two Hoffenheim games. And then we had to rely on some two late goals in that game to win on away goals. Since then, we've played relatively well. A 1-0 win against St Johnstone wasn't the best results in the world for us, but we managed to beat Hearts in the Scottish Cup quarter-final replay. So we've got the semi-final coming up today. I don't think we'll do it on camera, though, on the grounds that, again, I'm very pushed for time, kind of away this weekend, although obviously this video's come out, I've actually got all the work done, but I'm very pushed for time, working full-time and doing all of this in the evenings right now. Following the Hearts game, we had a very disappointing 3-3 draw with Livingston. Not the result we wanted. Defensively, we were a little bit all over the place, but we did make up for it in a 5-1 victory over Dundee United in the following game, with Anthony Gordon getting a brace in that one before Kevin Nisbet got a brace against Hearts in the final regular league game of the season. We've now got 5 games left in the league to try and win something, which is the league, obviously, because that's the only thing we can win in the championship group. Heading into those final few games of the season, well, it's looking good for us right now as we sit top of the table by a single point ahead of Rangers, who weren't in the best of form in between episodes. Neither were Celtic. They both lost some games, as you can see. So they dropped some points and we got ahead of them. We're 3 points ahead of Celtic, and Hibs, who at one point looked like they were going to be challenging as well, have dropped off the pace a little bit following 3 defeats in a row in the last 5 games. But of course, we're not focusing on the league at all today. Today, it is all about the Europa League and getting past Tottenham. The other games going on in the Europa League are Leipzig versus Madrid, Sevilla versus Norwich, Tottenham versus us, and Villarreal versus Celtic. If we manage to beat Tottenham and Celtic beat Villarreal, we'll play them in the semi-finals. So I'd like to see us both get through, but it's going to be so difficult. I think Celtic have got a good chance of going through. We probably don't. Hopefully PSG batter Porto as well, because that does very well for our coefficient points if they can do that. And ideally, Fiorentina needs to do the job against RZ in the Europa Conference League to make sure the Netherlands don't get any more coefficient points as well. Because they are a very good team, though, we are going to play 5 at the back against Tottenham. I think it's the only logical thing to do, particularly when we are playing away from home. So Bazunu, Herrera, Torres and Suva are in that back line, with Owusu and Daley Campbell in the wing-back roles. Potentially a little risky because they're not our first choice right backs and left backs, but they're slightly better in the wing back roles than the players we've got who normally play right back and left back. So we're going to trust them today with Winks, Campbell and Tammert-Lumper in the centre of midfield, with Nisbet and Knight leading the line. So I spoke to Peter Crouch earlier on, asked him if Tottenham would lose the game, if he could talk to the manager or the players and get them to lose, and he said he couldn't do that, doesn't quite have the influence there anymore, as they put a ball just over the bar from a free kick. So we're going to try and do things on our own, basically. We've got no Andre Sheetigel to help us out either. Apparently for him, match fixing isn't quite the same in England. It doesn't really work as well as it does in Belarus for some reason, as annoyingly Villarreal are 2-0 up against Celtic right now. We're doing quite well, actually, I feel. We're holding Tottenham 0-0 right now, whereas everyone else at home is winning 2-0, including Leipzig beating Real Madrid. Now, that is very, very impressive. I don't know what's gone wrong at Madrid for them to be behind. I think Højbjerg is offside there. The linesman is not moving. It's going to VAR. It would be lovely if that was given as offside. Is it offside? It's disallowed. You'd love to see it. Okay, so we do go into the break at 0-0. How close was the offside? Oh, miles offside. Miles offside. Okay, very, very good first half for us there. I think it's very good on the grounds that we're drawing. I might thrash my arms and say I'm far from pleased, though, and that seems to have motivated everyone. No matter what happens, always thrash your arms, always say you're not pleased, and it always seems to get a reaction out of the players. Luckily, Celtic have pulled a goal back and an away goal as well, so fingers crossed Celtic are on their way through to the semi-finals. But if we can travel to Tottenham and get a 0-0 draw, this would be a superb result for us, and you know, every possibility of winning in the home leg, maybe, if we're lucky. Probably have to play 5 at the back again in that game. I can't really see us going all out attacking and winning, even at home, against a team as good as Tottenham. As they look to bring the ball into the middle, Rafael San... Now, right, what's the penalty there for? What on earth? No way is that a penalty. I feel cheated if that's a penalty. And it's been given... I don't know what for. Bazunu, come on. Is it Harry Kane? Harry Kane takes it. Come on, Bazunu. He saves it. Come on, Gavin Bazunu with a fantastic save there. Half an hour to go in this game. He's given us a lifeline. As I thought there was going to be another penalty there, because it sort of does the animation where it just sort of goes through and they all sort of stop, and that's when a penalty is given. Luckily for us, it's not been the case. And if we can do this... Whoa, the one shot on target, I don't even care about only one shot on target. I don't really think that's a big issue at all. We'll get Templumper off for Thiago. We'll keep most of the team as it is, though, with 10 minutes to go. I can't believe that Leipzig are thrashing Madrid as well, by the way. And I can't believe we've scored an own goal. Oh, I mean, after we've played so well in this game, and it's 2-0 now. You hate to see it. Oh, I think Tottenham are probably... They're just too good. That's frustrating, to go so well for 80 minutes and then for it all to fall apart like that. That's heartbreaking. Luckily, Celtic have pulled it back to 2-2, so Celtic have a great chance of getting to a semi-final, as Porto lost to PSG, so come on PSG, do us a favour. We've obviously lost that one, and then Fiorentina beat RZ, which is good. So we've now got this Kilmarnock Cup semi-final game, which we're not really too fussed about. We've been there, done that with the Cup. We're going to skip that one, and we are going to come back for the other Tottenham game. Well, actually, it kind of was an entertaining game to do. I was kind of doing it in the background whilst I was packing to go away and stuff like that. That's how much attention I pay in these saves and stuff like that. But as you can see, we drew 2-2 and then won on penalties because Bazunu is just amazing at saving penalties right now. So we go through to the Scottish Cup final. We take on Rangers in another Cup final, as you can see here. So that's going to have to come up in a couple episodes' time. But for the next game, Aberdeen versus Tottenham, we have to go all out attack. We've got nothing to lose, so we may as well go back to our usual attacking style of play and see if it works, because there's no point going defensive when we're 2-0 down. Let's just try and get the win. So, for a place in the Europa League semi-finals, we have to overturn a 2-goal deficit here against Spurs. And of course, they have the beauty of getting an away goal or two. And if they get an away goal or two, then that is probably going to be all over for us. There's a good challenge there at the back. Lets Gordon come forward. Portia's ball to Nisbet is terrible. Why did he do that? That was not very good decision-making, as Bazunu almost palms it into the back of his own net. Stefanovic now with the corner, and it's been cleared, and that's the end of the first highlight of the game. Only 3 minutes into the game, so there's a long way to go today. Hopefully, though, we're going to be seeing Celtic get through. That'll be quite good for Scottish football. So we're going to be backing Celtic today against Villarreal. Of course, they've got the 2 away goals there, so a 0-0, a 1-1 would be absolutely fine for them as well. Just as long as Celtic go through, that's one Scottish team, which will be fantastic. In the meantime, we are limiting the amount of chances Spurs are having, but we're not really creating any chances of our own, unfortunately. As Dominic Calvert-Lewin comes forward for Tottenham, looking to get a ball across the 6-yard area. He finds Alfie Devine, who puts it just over the bar, which is frustrating for them, obviously. It's good for us, but nothing's happening for us, really, out there. As Nisbet wins the ball back into Torres, who just hoofs it to no one. We're hoofing it too much. I'm not a fan of the hoof, and we might change that a little bit, because I know it's kind of actually in the tactical instructions. We like to hoof it in the tactical instructions, but it's not quite working right now, is it? Because we've got so many men back defending all the time. We need to change that for this particular game, I think. We've recognised that. We should change it. In fact, let's watch this highlight first, as it's collected by Bazunu. Don't mess it up. He's not. Gets it into Portia, who hoofs it over the top to Harry Storm, and Harry Storm hits the crossbar. See, that's when the hoof does work. The hoof does work sometimes. Oh, that was agonising. Absolutely agonising. Okay, well, half-time. Let's change some of the instructions around. Let's go to play out of the defence, right? And then in transition, we will distribute it to the centre-backs, if I can distribute the centre-backs there. 45 minutes remain. We need 2 goals to get ourselves through into the later stages, into the semi-finals. But it's Spurs looking to come forward. Robertson puts the ball in the middle. Calvert-Lewin heads it down. There's the away goal for Tottenham. Rodrigo Jose with it, and with it, I think, is our exit from this competition. I mean, Tottenham are probably just a step too far for us right now. We got battered by United in the Champions League. Tottenham are probably as good as United, if not, maybe not quite as good, but they're on a similar level, right? So we knew it was going to be such a big challenge, and unfortunately, it's not quite been for us today. What we need to do is probably develop a really, really solid counter-attacking tactic. That we've got one. The 5 at the back, it just doesn't really work that well, because it didn't work very well in the first leg, did it? I mean, defensively it did until the final 10 minutes or so, but just not today. I'm getting a little bit nervous for the Celtic game, though. They're still 0-0 right now, as Suva's gone down injured. We might take him off for Admilson. Let's do that quickly, as Kane makes it 2. And there we go. That really does confirm it. The thing is, though, it's progress. It's good progress for us. Like last season, we got to the quarterfinals of the Europa Conference League. This season, it's the quarterfinals of the Europa League. So there's progress there, and we're just a few additions away from being maybe able to win a Conference League or Europa League. Obviously, Champions League is still quite far away. Even if we get into the group stages next season, it's going to take a miracle for us to get through the group stages. But when it comes to Europa League or the Conference League, I really am starting to back us a little bit. And I think in a couple seasons' time, we could be reaching a final. I mean, I kind of thought if we got past Tottenham, we'd have enough to get past Celtic and get to a final, but it's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Gordon grabs a goal for us there, but it's only going to be a consolation goal, as if we want to win this overall now, we've got to score another 4 goals to win 5-4 in aggregate, and with 20 minutes to go in the game, I can't quite see it happening, unfortunately, but it's a very good goal to score. So with 15 minutes or so to go, we've played much better in this game, actually. We've had plenty more chances. We're just not really seeing many of them on a highlight. I guess they're not very good chances. Maybe they are good chances. Oh, if only Harry Storm scored that goal early when he hit the crossbar, we'd be like, oh, right on the cusp of it. Is there a chance, though? Attacking. Demand more. No, surely not. Not this late on. Not this late on. We need 3 more goals to win, and I just can't see the 3 goals coming, unfortunately. I don't think. No, I'm not going to get my hopes up, especially now they've scored another one, and we need to get 4 goals now to score. Okay, we're not going to do it. A little bit of false hope towards the end of the game, and it got me going a little bit. And to be fair, to score 2 goals against Tottenham and give them a good game is progress. It's very good progress, but it's obviously not quite enough. We're knocked out of the Europa League. However, Celtic, I believe, have managed to get through on away goals. As you can see, they're through on away goals and will take on Tottenham. And I think Celtic are a little bit better than us right now. So Celtic might actually be able to do it, you know. PSG beat Porto, so all Portuguese teams are out of Europe now, which is great to see. And then in the Europa Conference League, RZ are knocked out as well, so all Dutch teams are out. So if Celtic do want to go on and beat Tottenham and get the coefficient points for us, that would be huge. I don't know if the coefficient points are going to be updated yet, so let's have a quick look, shall we, before we finish off today's episode. Scotland, we're now on 45.2, whereas the Dutch are on 47.6. So there's no way we're getting past Portugal, I don't think, unless there's a miracle and Celtic end up winning the Europa League. I think if they get to the final of the Europa League, they might get enough coefficient points to go ahead of the Dutch, or we might get enough coefficient points to be ahead of the Dutch as a Scottish nation. But it's so tight. We just want to get into that top 6, because the top 6 gets us those 3 Champions League places, which is phenomenal. Obviously, 5th is better, because then we get some extra Europa League places too, which you love to see. That'd be really, really good. But I think getting into 5th place ahead of all the French teams is going to be very difficult, particularly when they're on a score of 71.9. So really, the highest we can expect for the next few seasons is 6th, as then we start to chase down these top nations. So next episode, we are going to play 4 games. We're going to do Rangers, Hibs, Celtic, and then Rangers for the chance to win the domestic double, the proper domestic double. Last season, we did the League Cup and the League. This season, I think the Scottish Cup is seen as like the big cup in Scotland, not the Betfred Cup. So the proper double, I guess, is the Scottish Cup and the League, and we could do that tomorrow. Or we could bottle everything. So thank you ever so much for watching today's episode. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. And of course, if you have done, make sure you do drop a like on the video for me. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and I will see you next time. Until then, have a good one. Goodbye.